Yo. Oh, shoot. That thing is on. Okay. I made it, kind of. So today we're working on this piece of furniture that you may have seen before. Again. Anyways, I'm gonna grab this protein shake. I don't know what my deal is because I feel shaky. Probably should have eaten today. Whoops. Anyways, I'm gonna let people hop on. I'm CeCe from CeCe ReStyled. I'm a furniture artist in Indianapolis, and I'm also a designer influencer for Redesign with Prima. I'll chug this real quick. So, if you're hopping on, say hello. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I like to live vicariously through you all because I don't typically leave the house, but let's just check in a couple things real quick. But this piece behind me, I don't know if you can see, boom. I started to paint it for a third time. This will be the third time I've started over before I've even finished it because I just can't decide. And I've had it for years, at least 2 years, at least. And finally decided what I wanted to do with it, and then I changed my mind after I started. So this will be the third time. And no, that's not very typical for me. Like, this is probably a first for a third time repainting something, but I don't normally ever repaint anything unless I'm just bored. But I haven't been bored since like 5th grade, so let's see. I'm just making sure we're okay and that I can see comments because I never can on my phone, silly. And I want to. Oh my gosh, what's happening? I don't know how to use Facebook anymore. I'm on it so little that I don't even know how to use it anymore. Bruh. How do I... Never mind. Well, anyways, so today we're etching some glass. So I've got this glass, it's a curio, right? And it's got glass, I'll show you in a second, glass, panes on each side. This is the back, which you may have seen before. I've done a couple of videos using it in previous designs. But I decided to just put a panel of wood here because they were these little inset areas that I was working with them, but I changed my mind. I decided if I got to look at this sucker every day, I'm going to make it how I want it. So you can see the paint color that I'm painting it sort of now. I'm going to do like a navy with little hints of highlights of different colors here and there. And then the inside is going to be this color right here still. It was that color before. It's like grayish color. It was that color before. It's going to stay that color now. And I'm thinking, at this moment, I'm keeping this piece. And I don't like to spend a lot of time on my own stuff, like, at all. I don't even ever do my own stuff normally, but I'm going to take some molds from our extra scrap mold box, like extras when I have, or sometimes I have enough or too much resin mixed and I don't need that much and my mold's full, so I just like to pour it off into something so I don't waste it. And I collect those right here and they come in quite handy. So I'm going to go through that and see if there's something I can put on there to kind of, I don't know, jazz her up. And then in the end, when it's all said and done, probably not this video, maybe even not the next one, but I'm going to be using this transfer from, let's see, my designer line, and it's called Stately and Stylish. I love this transfer. I have not gotten to use it but once, so I'm really excited to use it this time. I'll show you in a minute that too, but that's the quick look at it, okay? You're like, what? I can't really see anything on that little freaking image. Good thing I got them in real life right here. So, one page, so there's 2 sheets, right? One sheet is, excuse me. Oh, I feel a little better with that protein sheet. Is it? Okay, just making sure we were okay. I've been having funny things happen with my Facebook. That's part of the reason why I hate getting on there anymore. It's always like, what are we doing now? They change everything all the time. All the time. Okay. So anyways, this is sheet 1, or one of the sheets of that transfer. And it's got these stripes. They're kind of like, you know, parchment or newspaper print looking almost, and they fade into a navy, or, you know, almost like a grayish navy, a gravy. Gray and navy, it's gravy. That's, don't anybody steal that. I did that. So in the middle, there's this pretty medallion, very regal medallion, and it's got lots of little ornate details. And then if you look really close in the design, you see these little gemstones. They're faux, of course, they're not real, but they're printed gemstones. See the little diamond and the little, what would a peach stone be? Would it be a citrine of some sort? I don't know. Maybe there's a peach amethyst. I don't know. Normally they're purple, but then you got little roses, and then see these little white flowers right here? I made those out of newsprint. Like I took a newsprint pattern and I made fake flowers on the transfer, and isn't that great? I love it. I wish I would have made them bigger though. I wish I would have made this mostly floral and bigger. Oh, and the little bee. Look at this bee down here. He's got a little diamond on his back. A diamond on his back. He's a queen bee. She's a queen bee. Excuse me. So that's going to go somewhere around here. There's shelves that go in here, and I took them out. Finally took them out on the 3rd time of painting this. But I took them out, and I'm not sure if I'm going to put them back in. I mean, I will, but not exactly the way they were. I'll probably make more. Customize it. But that's going to go somewhere on there. So that will look good with this grayish color and the navy on the outside. But I wanted to do something fun with the glass. So we're etching it, and well, here's the second sheet. Sorry, I forgot. Bouncing around, that's what he does for you. Okay, so see the little coins? Oh, sorry. There's coins, and there's lace in the background, like an ivory lace. And there's these faux leather straps, buckles, whatever you want to call them, harnesses, tackle. What do they call it? Tack, just tack, not tackle. Like equestrian tack. This reminds me of very equestrian vibes, which to me is classy. That's so classy. You got some chains in there, some faux chains. Very scarf-like, very designer scarfish. So anyways, that's what I'm going to use, bits and pieces of that. And I have another idea that I might incorporate with it with some other transfers, but we're going to think that one through, and then I'll let you know. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. We're not ready for that today, but I wanted to show you so you can kind of picture where I'm going with this. But it doesn't matter, because if you have a piece of glass that you know, say it belongs in a hutch or a side table or a coffee table, glass top coffee tables, sorry, don't mean to offend anybody, but typically that's kind of 90s, and I like everything from the 90s except the furniture. So we're going to update our glass, and this comes in handy, for real handy, because sometimes you just really like the style or the shape of a table, but you don't want that old dated, you know, glass panel in it. Plus it's kind of dangerous. Like, do people, they still make those these days? Like, what if a kid falls through the glass? It happens. Sounds like a lawsuit waiting to happen to me. So here you can see the etch that we did, and I'm using Stick and Style from Redesign with Prima. These are from my designer line. There's 4 Stick and Style designs, and as part of my line anyways. And this is one of them. I need to clean it off a little better. I was kind of in a hurry when I did this a month ago. So I'll show you from this side too. That one, that's, yeah, can you see it better? No. Is that, no. Is that better? So yeah, I need to clean it up a bit, but you can see it's etched there, and I just need to wipe off some extra schmegma there, but let's see if I can get you a better, let's turn around. Where's the little flippy flip? Flippy flip. All right, so yes, I am not done with the inside. I barely even yeah, don't judge by the inside because it's not anywhere near quality so far. So anyways, oops, wrong direction. But yeah, isn't that cool? I've done stripes, I've done stenciling, I've done all kinds of stuff with etched glass. We're using a cream. It's etching glass cream or sorry. It's hard to, okay. Etching glass, let me just read it off the thing. Armor Etch glass etching cream. So you get this from, I think, the craft store, Michael's or Joann's, I'm not sure. They both have it, I think, in Hobby Lobby too. I have a big bottle of it somewhere I wish I could find. I feel like I found it recently, but then I lost it again. Do you ever do that? Feel like, hey, I saw that somewhere for sure, and I was looking for it, but I didn't grab it. Maybe I'm the only spacey one in the bunch. But anyway, so I'm going to try to turn this just a little bit. I almost broke the whole thing in my back earlier trying to do that, but you know. Oh, I almost forgot. I have a little chandelier that I'm putting up in it, or I usually keep it up there at the top, like a little mini chandelier. See that little guy hanging right there? Oh! Sorry, I turned the phone I turned the stabilizer a little too far. It doesn't like to turn that far. It gives up, literally. Just goes, meh. So fickle. Anyways. All right, so I'm going to turn this a little bit so you can kind of see, maybe at an angle is the best, or maybe you should see it from the inside. Maybe if you see from the inside, we'll see what happens. Anywho, so I was kind of like looking at, God. All right, we're taking you out of there. Sorry, we'll put you in here. Good thing I finally learned after 4 or 5 years of doing live videos, I learned to have a backup tripod, gooseneck, gimbal, whatever you want to call it, nearby. So, take that, technology. Yeah, I hear you over there all mad. You're out of a job, son. Talk to my equipment, because it's the only, it's the only thing I have to talk to all day, every day. Till the kids come home. All right. So, is that a terrible view or what? How's that? Any better? Nah. Well, anyways, we'll see what happens. So, this is the Stick and Style stencil roll, okay? They come on rolls, obviously, hence the name Stick and Style stencil roll. And these things are the bomb.com, especially if you're not very good at stenciling or you're very picky about getting a very crisp, perfect stencil. These will do it for you. Prep your piece well, paint, stain, whatever you're going to do to it, and then make sure it's cured or dried thoroughly because these are sticky. They're so sticky that normally I'll take, normally I take them and I kind of stick them on my pants, first to get them a little less sticky. You know that trick, the old pants trick. But, you don't have to do that. I'm not going to do that for the glass because obviously there's not going to be any paint pulling up on the glass. It isn't supposed to. So anyways, it comes on a roll. Can't get the gloves on, so they kind of, there we go, finally. So I think there's 7 yards, if I remember right. 7 yards, does that sound right? So they're not as long as the old rolls used to be. Something insane. Like I used the same one for like 2 years. True story. So, gotta be smarter than the stencil. Okay. So once you get it up, when I'm unrolling it, I like to kind of unroll the whole, you know what I mean? You can't just like grab it and like pull like toilet paper or whatever. You kind of got to like pull it from each part so it doesn't rip, at least to get it started. See, wait, no, didn't rip it. Close. Or sometimes I'll stick it to like a table or whatever, and then I'll just kind of go like this. That's the easiest because these are so delicate, delicate enough they'll tear. So I'm going to tear off, or I'm sorry, cut off about the width of my pane of glass plus an inch or two on each side. You want to have a little bit of extra. And before I do that, let's clean our glass real quick, shall we? Because you don't really want to try to etch dirty glass. Seems a little weird, huh? Nobody likes to etch dirty glass. Ooh. All right, so I'm just using some glass cleaner. I'm going to be etching mine from the outside because I already did the outside on the other side. Normally I may probably do it from the inside, but it had shelves in it and I didn't know at the time I was going to take them out. So, you know, but I should still clean both sides, right? Because that's proper and thorough. Like a real adult would do that, right? Not just clean one side. Okay. Well then, I'm all about learning how to be an adult, so let's do it. And yes, I already did this before the video, but I didn't do a very good job. So that will dry fairly quickly, but obviously it's glass cleaner. Okay, so this stuff is super easy. I have no doubt you can read the back of the bottle and read that, you know, you leave it on for XYZ amount of time, rinse it off, call it a day, but it can be a little scary because once you etch the glass, it's etched. It's not like vinyl. It's not a sticker. It's not a surface preparation or treatment. It's etching the glass. So that is why I pretty much 99% of the time use stick and style stencils because they're super sticky. And that way, you know, you're going to get a nice crisp stenciling or etching. Normally with stenciling, I'm typically more on the I don't mind an aged or grungy, imperfect kind of stencil. I prefer that actually, but for glass, aged and grungy doesn't look so great. So we want it crispity crisp, right? If we can get it that way. So I'm going to cut off, like I said, the width of my glass, and I'm going to go etch the outside. But if possible, and you're doing like a tabletop or something like that, I'd try to etch the side that's not going to be facing traffic, so underneath on the tabletop or inside of a cabinet or window. I mean, there's no real hard and fast rule. That's just what I probably do because I don't know if you've ever seen like the metal stamped jewelry where they stamp words and designs and stuff in the metal. They take an enamel and what they do is kind of glaze it. They brush it on and then wipe it back, and then you have that enamel stuck in the letters or whatever the design is so you can see it. There's a similar type thing. There might not be a similar thing that exists, but it's a similar idea with the etching. Okay, it becomes matte or like it's got some texture, I guess. You know, glass is smooth, right? Non-porous. Once you etch it, it's more matte and it's going to pick up any sort of, like if I put a wash or stain on it and wiped it back and let it dry, it would probably color the etching just a little bit. It would tint the etching, which is a neat idea if you're doing it on purpose. But if you aren't, you know, not such a neat idea. But okay, maybe you're going to have to probably come over here, right? And that's fine. I got you. Let's see. All right, so these stick and style stencils are patterns, okay? They are patterns that can repeat or, what do you call it? They will line up so that you can repeat it and, you know, go the whole length of the entire world if you want to, if you have enough stick and styles. They do match up whether you left or right. They should match up if you stack them top to bottom. I don't know about diagonally necessarily. I never tried that for these particular stencils, but what I'm trying to say is you can customize it a little bit. Sorry, you don't want to see all my whole freaking room. You can customize it to fit whatever spot you're putting it in. Do you need it as a border? Do you want to fill in, you know, some insets on a door panel or on a wall, you know, in a corner of a wall or something like that? So There's really a lot of various things that you can do with the stick and styles. That reminds me of this video I was going to make once about what you can do with the stick and style, but it was going to be kind of a parody, so it was going to be real things you could do with it. But I mean, I had things like, you know in the tanning bed, not that I've been in 25 years, but they give you those little stickers you can put on your skin before you go tanning. And so when you take this sticker off, it's usually like a Playboy bunny or something ridiculous. But I was going to do something to that effect, but with the stick and style, like you can tan a design onto your arm. Yeah, I know. I think I'm funny, but I'm not as funny as I think I am, I guess. God, are you getting dizzy yet? I'm sorry. All right, boom. We finally get it. 5 years later, she knows how to set the camera up. Okay. This would be great if I broke it on video, huh? Okay, so now you can see my glass. See? Are you looking at my glass? Or are you just happy to see me? Okay, this is the width, obviously. I'm going to go ahead and grab my stencil. I'm just going to do one pass. Okay, so normally what I would do is I would take my stencil, which these are reusable, by the way. I don't reuse them necessarily when I'm etching with the etching cream unless it's for the same project, but I don't keep them. But, okay, let's face it, I don't keep them ever. But you can. You can wipe them off or rinse them off with a damp cloth or whatever. Baby wipe, what have you. And you can reuse these suckers. So normally I'll try to use them as many times as I can on one project. But then after that, I move on. I don't save them for future use just because I'm pretty messy. So to clean these off would really be more trouble than it's worth, actually. Okay, so what I did was I centered this little kind of, that little, whatchamacallit shape, okay? This one is called, oh my gosh, what did I call this one? Modern Damask, I think, because it's more of like a modern wallpaper type pattern, but yeah, this is Modern Damask, I believe. Almost positive. But anyways, as you can see, all you gotta do is line it up, let me show you real quick. That's what I'm here for. Right? You think? All right, so really. Oh, that one's almost empty. Man, the old stick and styles were so long, I had them forever, and the new ones I can't even keep around. You're like, oh, well, maybe you should reuse them. Yeah. Whatever you say. So when I'm not on the video, I normally try to fill up my whole space or surface that I'm stenciling. And to do that, some of the designs you have to kind of cut parts off, because see this like little strip at the bottom? It's there. It has to be there, but if you're repeating the pattern, it can kind of get in the way. All right. So on this one, I actually went ahead and cut the end off. I know I'm very I'm prepared sometimes. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how it lines up. So normally I would take like a knife, a sharp blade or whatever, and I would cut that bottom part off, because as you'll see, once I line it up, but you just find the shapes, line them up as best you can. See, now if I would have left that little strip right there, it would be a big strip in my pattern that I don't want. So I cut off that edge, then I line this one up, cut off the top edge of that one, stick it, and then I style it. So let's go ahead and just make sure this is in the proper position. See how sticky these are? Isn't that great? I wish every stencil in the world was adhesive, especially this good. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead. Actually, you know what? I gotta cut that bottom part off. Silly me. So our etching cream that you can get at any craft store, pretty much any craft store. I'm doing it very lightly. No, I'm not worried about scratching the glass. Have you seen this glass? Terrible. Told you guys I'm shaking and I cannot figure out why I'm shaking today. It's got to be lack of like protein or something because I haven't really had much protein today. I can always tell when I'm low on the protein, high on the sugar. Because I have bags of Skittles laying around everywhere, so I just grab a handful when I walk by certain areas of my house. Come on. Okay, so I cut that bottom off. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight across, just so that your little shapes are not bound and they're hanging open. All right, so that's that. So I'm just going to stick the ends of the stencil right on in there. Cut off. Oops, wrong way. Cut that off. It's sticking to me. It's sticking to me. Oh, sorry. All right, so I'm just going to push these in. See, I'm just pushing it in. That way when you're applying your product, paint, etching cream, chalk paste, icing paste, whatever, you know, it's all the way in there and you get a nice design all the way to the edge, okay? There's a little extra piece right there. Where'd you come from? Get it. Okay. You can use a transfer tool for this. I just don't feel like reaching my arm all the way over there. I'll knock over 50 things when I'm doing that. All right, so got it pretty tight in there. It doesn't have to be perfect, but pretty snug. You could cut it off if you want, but I like to save my extra parts of the stencil. That way, if I mess up somewhere or I'm short in one area, I can just take from the little scraps and use what I need, okay? Especially when you're repeating a pattern. It happens. It certainly happens. Okay, now I want to make sure I smooth the rest of it, make sure it's down. Try to smooth out any bubbles or wrinkles, or not bubbles, but wrinkles, because you don't want your product seeping underneath the stencil. Okay, good. We're good, we're good. All right, so now I'm going to grab our etching cream. Ooh, ooh, etching cream. I like to use a round brush. You don't have to, you can use whatever brush you want to use. Foam brush would be ideal, but I only have tiny ones and that ain't gonna cut it. I don't have 8 years of stencil, so let's see. Round brush. Where might I find a round brush? Probably in my drawer of brushes. This one's oval. That'll work. I just dipped it in my protein shake though. Okay, so if you missed it earlier, armor etch, okay, stick and style stencil roll. It's stuck. We're about to style it real quick. Actually, you know what? I'm going to apply this and then I'll check for questions or comments while it's working, doing its magic. I'll just pull up a little corner of it and show you, even though you could already see from the other side what it's going to look like. But I can show you closer up over here. So I would pour it out into like a little bowl or something that is disposable. Probably not a glass bowl, but I'm just going to dunk my brush right in there as best I can because this thing's almost empty and I got to find my big one somewhere. But so the etching cream is just kind of like white, milky looking stuff, but I like to apply it. I don't like to brush when I'm stenciling because that does not help with, you know, keeping things from seeping underneath. But I do like to pounce. I like to pounce, and it works best for this type of product because it gets it down in there, in that glass. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to miss a spot. Plus, I don't like brush stencils. Yeah. Push that in there. Just kind of push it but you have better chances of getting a nice fuzzy stencil. Ow, I just got this stuff on my eye. What the heck? Okay, wear PPE when you're working with chemicals and products like this. I just got my eye. Oh my gosh. I should probably wash that out, but oh my gosh, somebody call OSHA. Oh wait, I can't, I work for myself. Where's my water? Water. The brush like flipped back product into my eye. Wear PPE, okay? Get you some goggles. Get you some goggles, get a hard hat, whatever you gotta get. Gotta flush my eye. That was burning. Yes, that just happened. No, I'm not crying. Jeez. That would happen to me. Don't get etching cream in your eye, people. I'm probably going to go blind now. No, I'm not going to go blind. I flushed it, but still. That's so dumb. Okay, good thing I had water nearby. Flush my eye. Okay, but we can continue working on our stencil now. Stupid. I'm so dumb. Okay. Figures. I would. Okay. So anyways, let's continue. So we're going to keep brushing it on while we slowly go blind over here. But yeah, what I was saying is I would pour it out into something before you get on applying it, but I forgot to grab something, so rather than make you wait any longer, we're just going to do it. Oh, gosh. If you're worried about getting it on your paint or it ruining your paint, which I haven't experienced any ruinage of the paint, I just wipe it off if I get it on there, but if you're worried about that, you can take painter's tape and go around and line, mask off the painted part. That's probably a smart thing to do, but like I said, this is my piece. It's the third time I've changed my mind on it. And paint is expensive, or painter's tape is expensive. And maybe it's just the kind I like to use, but it's expensive, I think. I think $9 a roll for tape. I don't care what kind of tape it is. 14 karat gold tape. Whatever kind of tape. $8 for like 60 feet or whatever is just kind of ridiculous. Ridiculous. All right, so I'm putting on a fairly thick coat. If I can get any more out. There we go. That's going to be a thick one. Fairly thick coat. Then we have to let that set for, I think, like 5 minutes or so. 1 to 3 minutes, even better. I swear the big bottle says 15 minutes. I swear. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I don't swear. But anywho, I guess if you get a big bottle, read it and check that out and let me know if I'm wrong. Guess what? I'm not blind yet. Oh, that sucked. I mean, that stinks. Jeez, oh Pete. Okay, so we're going to start the clock for about 3 minutes. Think we can hang that long? If not, it's okay. I won't be mad. I won't be offended. We can part ways. All right, 3 minutes. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to sit there and count. But in the meantime, while we wait 3 minutes, oh God, look at my eye. Is it okay? Can I see? I can see. Oh, look, it's in my hair too. That must have been a big chunk. Okay. Any doctors in the house? Nurses? Vets? Veterinarians, not veterans. I mean, veterans too, but... So, I'm going to go ahead and grab my glue gun and my little bin O extra molds, and I'm going to start working on my molds while we wait 1 to 3 minutes. And I'm really excited about this part. So this mold right here, or this one, this is actually the whole mold, whatever. I cannot remember the name of this. I remember the old name of it, but they changed it. Something medallions. I don't know, but anyways, they're these medallions. Boom. And the middle of that one out because I want to make it a little thing for my chandelier up here, like a, what are those called? I can never remember what they're called. Like those architectural elements that, gosh, what is that called? It's not a, it's like a back plate. It's not an escutcheon. That's like for keys, not chandeliers, but whatever. I don't know. I'm really excited about putting that bad boy up there because I saw it immediately and I was like, yep. Chandelier's going to have some extra. I'm going to go ahead and see if there's any questions real quick before I move on. That will probably take 1 to 3 minutes. Oh gosh, I should definitely turn the volume down. Amateur. Okay, so where's the comments? Oh, swipe left. Oh, hello everyone. Oh, the cleaning binge, the old cleaning binge. Luckily, I do the cleaning binge fairly often, but I have so much crap stuff. I have so many things. I have so much inventory, we'll put it that way, that I honestly forget about a lot of stuff that I pitch. And so I don't have feelings about it later, which is probably good because I would be very sad. I know my eye, I got some water in it. It's not burning anymore, so. Excuse me. Let's see. Portugal. Wow, that's really far. The brand of the etching cream, I think it's just Armor Etch. I have not ever seen any other version, to be honest with you. And I've looked. I haven't seen, because, you know, the old junker in me wants to find the China version on Amazon. But I'm just kidding. I don't do that. Armor Etch, I think, is just a brand. But yeah, boom. If you find another version or another brand of it, let me know. I would like to check that out. I like to compare and do my work, you know, so that I know which one I like the best. That's what I do. I'm like Goldilocks, you know, I try out all the things until I find one that works for me, and then I'm like, die hard. All right. Ceiling, yes, medallion, just a ceiling medallion. I swear I thought it had another name, like cup, I don't know. Anyways, okay, I don't see any other comments or questions, so I just want to, if there is any, I apologize, I don't see them, but yeah. Oh, thank you for using them, my stencils. Personally, I love stencils, like, they're one of my favorite things, but I'm so picky about patterns, and it's the weirdest thing, especially with like damask or wallpaper type patterns. They're not all the same. People look at it and they're like, oh, that's blah, blah, blah. And it's, I know, I'm sure a lot of people think they all look the same. None of you, but like there are people out there that crazy. But they're not. Like one little tiny thing wrong or misproportioned or it doesn't line upright or whatever. I'm very picky about patterns in general, but it's been 1 to 3 minutes, yeah? Let me stick this and then we'll peel a little corner so you can see. I'm just going to go for it. Gorilla Hot Glue is my best friend because it works. I've learned 3 times now that when I have to rip my molds off because I mess them up or I want to change my mind, then that I've learned how effective it is. I'll just say that. I've pulled off many a furniture veneer and you know, surfaces because I put my molds on with Gorilla Hot Glue. All right, boys and girls, let's just stick it up there real quick. Oh, yeah. So it's kind of a curved top, right? It's a curved ceiling, we'll call it. And I poured this mold probably 8 months ago, 6 to 8 months, probably a year ago by now. I don't know, I don't have a sense of time. Probably about a year ago. And it's not that it's super thin or anything. I mean, there's a part of it where I could have got more resin down in there, but this not such a steep curve, and the resin is just bendable enough to where I could get it to stay and conform there. See? So while the hot glue was setting, I just kind of hold it in place a little bit, and I make sure to press all the edges and the center and everything like that, because I really want that sucker to stay. And I don't like when you look at the edge of a mold and you can see like where it attaches. Like, I like it to be flush to the surface if possible. When I layer them, it's not always possible, but I do like to try to get them flush against the surface or whatever I'm molding. So that worked out pretty good. But the hot glue also helped make it a little more bendy. All right. So, dun, da, da, da. So now what we got to do, normally if this was like a small tabletop or panel of glass, I would take that over to the sink or hose or whatever, and I would rinse it off. Rinse it off first and then peel it up, rinse it off again. But since this is not going anywhere near the sink, I'm not that dumb, people. I can't get it over there anyways if I wanted to, but where's my water? Or did I use it on my eye? Anyways, I got a sponge. Okay, you can use a rag, sponge, paper towel. I use a little bit of everything. I use the paper towel, then the sponge. So I can use the soft part or the more abrasive part. So let's pretend this is a faucet and I'm running it. You want to be careful though. You don't want to work too slowly, because as it drips down, it's got that etching in it, and I don't want to mess up the rest of my glass. So typically, if you can, try to work horizontally on surfaces for projects like this, but I didn't think to lay this on its side, and even if I did, I wouldn't have done it anyways. You know, video. So I'm just wiping away what's caked on there, okay, because you want a nice, fairly thick layer. So I'm wiping away what's caked on there. Then I'm going to peel the glass, and then I'll clean it with another thing of water, another squirt of water, and then if it's still kind of cloudy, I'll probably use the glass cleaner. But don't fear, because when you get it wet, it's going to go clear again. Don't fear when it goes clear. That doesn't mean you messed up or you didn't wait long enough. It just means it's wet. So as it dries, you can see the frosty start happening again. And if you miss a spot, which happens, you can always go back and just get it later, but no big deal. Okay, so are you ready? Let's peel it away. All right, I'm going to keep this because that's perfectly good for the rest of this window. Okay, so really. Okay, then I'm going to rinse it with some water. Can you see it? You probably can't even see it from that angle. Hold on, and I shall move you. Can you now? Can you now? Can you now? Don't worry. I'm going to take it out of the holster and give you a better view as soon as I don't need both of my hands. Ooh. I can't believe I have not broken this glass by now. Like, I'm so shocked. All right, let's just do a little glass cleaner for good measure. Boom. Do. So I didn't end up needing my sponge. Sometimes I let it sit a little too long, too long, and so it's more caked on and dried up than it needs to be, and so I have to use that abrasive side to get it off. But, you know, I just did that so I could tell you what not to do. Okay, so once you got it clean, it won't be cloudy anymore. If it's cloudy, you need to keep wiping it because that means it's not clean. Or you messed up. I'm just kidding. Not really. Okay, ready? There she is. So there's some areas where there's kind of like almost like that. It almost looks like a stamp. I'm not really sure what causes that. I think it looks kind of neat, but if you do a second pass, that should take care of that. There's these little like granules or whatever in the etching cream, and I wonder sometimes if that's not what does that. Makes those like the granules like stick. But in any case, isn't that neat? And yes, that's actually etched. It's not like a stick-on or anything that's going to come off. Once it's etched, okay? Etch, etch, baby. Might help if I put something behind it, like a piece of paper. But you can kind of see it in the glare there, right? That's neat, huh? So fun. So fun. I've done gifts like etched, you know, whiskey glasses, flasks. You can, you know, carafes, wine bottles. I've etched a wine bottle. Oh, sorry. I forgot to flip it around. My bad. Yeah, I mean, it makes nice. Sorry, I'm not trying to give you a tour. You can make some nice gifts and stuff with that, but the stick and style is perfect for it because it just makes the edges. Hold on, did you get a look at the edges? They're crisp, right? You can never say those edges are not crisp from that stick and style. Am I right? Sure are. That's how you get a crisp stencil there, boys. Right there. Right there. That's how you do it. So anywho, thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit and watching me almost lose my eyesight. I'm not in the clear yet. Like I'm still keeping it on watch. It's red, but obviously should be. I'm telling you what. I can't believe I've made it this far in my life without getting so hurt or paralyzed that whatever. But I have my sight for now. Shouldn't jinx myself. Anyways, don't get etching cream in your eye. Do get some stick and style stencils. It'll make your life much better in the stenciling area anyways. And I will see you soon. Maybe 2 weeks from now. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe sooner. Maybe later. Either way, I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye.